of How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It. As I See It, Class Warfare, The Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning, Northeast Texas, Southeast Texas, Northeast Louisiana, Northwest Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana, and every nook and cranny receiving our signals from our 100,000 watt transmitter. Good morning to the entire world who receives us through the magic of the internet, formerly known as the ARPANET, developed by we the people with your tax dollars and the intellect of all of those we educated with your tax dollars. Isn't it wonderful to have such a great society that invests in its people? Hey, did you guys watch the DNC last night? Oh man, it was great. It was entertaining. You know, I am so I'm ecstatic that I think this will actually work. Interestingly, though, I have a piece. Well, actually, let's not get there quite yet. Instead, let's go to the geniuses in the studio who actually make things happen. Buenos dias, mis hermanos favoritos. Good morning, my favorite brothers.
Single brother this morning.
Oh, you're here alone today. Somebody is playing hooky.
Oh yeah, you know how he is.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good this morning. I got
Excellent.
just a little thing for you here. Trump fever in the Republican Party is breaking as Republicans call out Trump and pledge support for Kamala Harris. Democrats, don't kick back in your easy chair just yet. Keep confronting the people with your message. Remember, the real work starts after the election.
I mean, I couldn't have said that any better. The real work is now. You nailed it, my brother. You nailed it. You nailed it. And of course, you nailed it. Anyhow, is Sandy in the house with us this morning?
Yeah, he is. Hold on, let me get him on here.
All right, all right. Well, I know Sandy's going to be coming in a second. Anyway, folks, we're going to have a great show
Yeah,
for you
hey,
today.
Egberto, how are you?
Good morning, Sandy. How you doing?
Good morning. We seem to have a little loop running underneath, Jack. I don't know what's going on there, but we're getting some double audio going here. Do
Well,
you hear that as well?
I don't hear the double audio, which my signal I think is the one that's going over the air. So I think we're going to be just fine. If you can talk without listening to yourself, maybe it'll work.
Maybe. Take the channel off cue, see if that works, Jack. It might be the issue. Anyway, good morning, folks. KPFT begins its 9th day of its summer cruise fund drive, originally scheduled for 11 days. And I don't think we're going to make the 11th day on Sunday. We're currently at 88-point-something% of goal. It was $66,000 already booked to our $75,000 goal. This will be the last weekday we're coming to you to try to obtain that goal, taking up till October so as to pay all the bills. Call 713-526-5738, option 1, or mouse it over to kpft.org and click donate. Thank you for funding KPFT, and thank you for listening. Remember, when you join a sustaining pledge, $5, $10 a month, whatever it is you can part with out of your monthly budget and set up on a sustaining basis or a perpetual basis, that is to you say no more, will be matched with a $50 bill, and we arrive at our goal even faster. Looks like we've had about a total of 50 sustainers sign up so far this drive. We'd like to get a few more. Sustaining pledges have made this fund drive short and will make future fund drives shorter as well. So I think we all are looking forward to the day when maybe we can get it down to a couple drives a year. We're working on that direction, and those sustaining pledges, well, they're the key. Anyway, happy Friday. Egberto, back to you.
Thank you very much, Sandy. It is great that, I mean, when you set up this last drive here and I saw, am I dreaming? Did I see 11 or 12 days or maybe 10 days? I almost passed out because I hate doing this stuff, man. But if it's only 10 days, I guess I can suffer for the 5 or 6 days or 7 days that I'm responsible for. But it's feeling good. Folks, we need your calls though. 713-526-5738. I ask kindly that you start the call in early, so that the fastest we get my quota in for the day, the more that I can give as far as content is concerned. And content do I have? I have a lot of stuff that I did last night, videos that I made as well last night, that I think you're gonna like. But I can only do them if those calls come in and we get those out of the way. And of course, as well, you control the program. 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Please do remember what we're asking for. Think about this. Sustaining membership. Sandy was just talking about if we can get more sustaining memberships, we can actually reduce the length of these fund drive, if not altogether, stop them. Think about it. Think about how short this one is. This is my last day for this period to do a fund drive. I am ecstatic. I'm excited. On Monday, I can have an entirely full show that you are going to determine. So give me a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Why don't you give me a coffee a day or 2 coffees? Not me, KPFT, under the auspices of Politics Done Right, but 1 coffee a day, 2 coffee a day. That's like $5 a month or $10 a month. Can you do 15, 20, or 25 a month? Whatever you can. It will really, really make a difference to not KPFT solely, but giving people that option other than commercial radio to listen to something of value. 713-526-5738, extension numero 1, number 1, or go to kpft.org, click that donate button, then go ahead, select Politics Done Right as the program you're supporting, and give whatever you can, whatever you want to support the program. Thank you so kindly in advance. I ask that you call right now or go to your keyboard and click those keys right now so that we can start my last day of fundraising. It would be great if we get a whole lot of people for this last day of fund driving for Politics Done Right, not for fund drive, for Politics Done Right. If I just made Sandy's day and came up with $1,000 or more, that would be great, wouldn't it? That would be 4 people saying, "Coffee with Egberto." That's $250 deal. And it's a gimmick, I know. But, still, I'll drive in a part of Harris County, have some coffee with you. Or, several of you do that $10 a month. 10 of you do that $10 a month. And you don't feel that. 2 coffees a month. You don't feel that at all. But we feel it. Think about it. 713-526-5738. Go for that sustainer if you can. Hit that number 1 to donate, or go to kpft.org, hit the donate, then Politics Done Right, then what do you want to give? Let's go to Jacob. Come on in, Jacob. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Brother Jacob. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. Blessings in AM. Berto, I hate to say it, Kamala, she was on a roll until yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, when I think she is overlooking the descendants of the enslaved of America, my ancestors. When she said that America is an immigrant, was built on immigrants, that's not a fact. And I think she disrespected my ancestors, who was brought over here and for centuries and centuries built this country for free. And I understand she is an immigrant. She's an immigrant because her father's Jamaican, her mother from India. But for her, because she's so black. And yesterday, when she was doing her speech, it wasn't about her father. She wasn't black. She was India. She gave it to her mother. And I understand she feeling that's her way to victory. but she distances herself from a lot of the descendants of the enslaved of America, of United States of America, and I think that's what she fumbled yesterday. I think it's going to cost her, because when she go in front of black press, that's going to be the first question. Do you understand that this is not a country of immigrants? And do you understand if it wasn't for the enslaved and the civil rights movement and making these laws, that immigrants, when they made the civil rights bill, they implemented, Harry Belafonte from the Bahamas implemented the immigrants. And since then, that's when a lot of the immigrant wave took over, and a lot of the immigrants also took over our neighborhoods, supplying our stores, our this and that, when we used to have it ourselves. So I think she fumbled with that, and she's going to have to answer that. And watch Trump jump on that. To you black Americans, do you see that she excluded? And he going to go. She didn't went to talking about black. I'm a friend of America. She really wasn't even talking about y'all. And that's too bad, man, because yeah.
I'm sorry, Jacob. Continue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All she even had to say it. She didn't have to even. She could have said, that she could go. When she said right before she said that, when she said that they came with a bipartisan bill that they was trying to get passed, that Trump interfered with for the election, and that she could have said that we can have a way that immigrants can come into the country and also secure the border. That's it. That's it. But she fumbled with that one little sentence. This is the land of immigrants. No, it's not. And she really, really disrespected my ancestors. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. Don't leave, because this,
Yeah.
I want to tackle what you just said head on with respect. And I'm going to spend some time on this, folks, because what Jacob said is extraordinarily important. I watched a TikTok with a Nigerian woman stating that what a lot of people don't understand, and specifically black people, about Nigerians and Africans and West Indians. I am a West Indian. I am a Latino. I'm all these different qualifications that people talk about. And it's an interpretation thing that people have, okay? And I want to get to your point the appropriate way, because it's very important. And this woman on TikTok was complaining about how she was treated by American black folk. We come over here, is what she's saying. We come over here to work hard. We come over here to do X, Y, Z. And I really got upset, because I am an immigrant. I am a black man. I am a Latino. I am a West Indian. I am all these characteristics. And it is absolutely true what you just said, that many times it come across as disrespectful when somebody of any other descent, albeit a black person, come over here and somehow give the impression or demean American black folk. Because what I did I don't know if you do TikTok, but I did a stitch onto her TikTok. And I said, lady, everything that you said is true. But the people, the black folk or Latino folk or others that come over here as immigrants from other countries, most of the times, they are the ones in their own countries that had the mobility to come over here. Do not try to make that comparison or disparage those that are already here, because these are the folks who paid the price to open the door for you to make it here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I'm not done, my brother. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Yeah.
The problem is this. Capitalist America, and I'm not talking about has made a calculated effort to make minorities that come over, I hate using the word minorities, select black and others that come over here after slavery. Because don't forget, Kamala's mother was also a slave. They didn't call it a slave under the British Empire, but effectively, Indians were a part of the British Empire as well, no more so than a slave. My ancestors in the Caribbean, okay, were effectively slaves. My Panamanian compatriots were effectively slaves. We all have the same lineage. Most of us on this hemisphere all came from West Africa. I'm not done because we have to understand what is done here often. Then many times the masters that be, meaning the plutocrats, the capitalists, create not only interracial dissension, but also interracial dissension. That means telling me, this Panamanian black dude, that there's some difference between me, this Panamanian black dude, and you American black dude. There ain't no difference. There may be some. I may eat carimañolas con frijoles y some patacones, and then I come over to your home and have some chitlins. Let me tell you something, my friend. Let me tell you something, because this is important. That rubbed you wrong what Kamala Harris did yesterday in not stressing her blackness. What I call that is extraordinarily smart. Because, and this is something that I want you to go out there and promote as well. She doesn't need to say anything about her blackness because every single American can see her. Every single American knows that let me get done, my dear brother. Every single American sees that she's an AKA. Every single American know that she went to Howard University, where my daughter finished her med school. That goes without question. Maybe Trump will try to come in and create dissension among people of color, because what she did is came out with neutrality. What she did is she said America is a country of immigrants. Yeah, black folks ain't immigrants in America. They were slaves. I, as an immigrant, wasn't an immigrant in this hemisphere, but a slave. But in a tactical condition where you don't control the media, what Kamala did yesterday was smart. And I hope after you've heard what I've said, you would digest some of it. And when you hear your compatriots and friends talk about it, do the same. Anything else, Jacob, before I jump to Harry?
Yes, sir. Real quick. But the thing is, black is a color, never have been a black. And the so-called, we get that's English. It came from England. And the Spanish you speak come from Spain, from Europe. I'm from the chosen people of that book. I'm the true Israelite. So, all right, you tell that to your friends. But I respect you and I like your show, man.
Thank you, my brother. You have a good one. All right, let's go to Harry.
Good morning, El Professor Humberto Willis. Good morning to Magic Jack, and good morning to Sandy. Well, I agree with Jacob with a lot of that, but as you said, bro, Kamala Harris was being smart. Anybody can see that she is of African extraction, and she was speaking to everybody. And I'll just add this to piggyback on Jacob. The black people were the infrastructure here with the slave industry, and we created the opportunities, as he pointed out, going on up through that we had for ourselves when things were segregated. We created the opportunities for other immigrants. There wouldn't be any United States without the hard labor and slave and sweat of African people that were brought here. But I'll get into what they talked about yesterday in the DNC because I listened to it, a lot of it, and I liked how they hammered Trump on the military and how he called people losers and suckers. They had a Republican there who left the Republican Party because he was disgusted with Trump talking about losers and suckers and some of the other crazy things Trump heard. And I just heard an hour ago on NPR that Trump had, after Kamala finished her speech, he talked about the abortion when Kamala got on, talked about how he bragged about the abortion rights being taken away because the 6 justices and the 3 that he put up there that
You lost your train of thought. Go ahead and move on to the next one, my brother. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, because it's early in the morning. But how they struck they took down Roe v. Wade, and then Donald Trump said on Truth Social that the Democrats wanted Roe v. Wade struck down. But as you said on this show many times, Roberto, and a lot of us who understand this, Donald Trump does a lot of projection. Whenever somebody tells the truth about him and says something, and it's unpopular, and he knows it's true, then he tries to turn it around and say it's their fault. No, it's your fault. Anybody with half a brain knows that. So I liked all the things she said about the domestic front. She wants an equal opportunity for Americans, and she wants to get housing down because it's too expensive. And she talked about she's going to sign an abortion rights bill into law. If the Democrats control both houses, she'll do that. I liked all of that. The only criticism I have with Kamala Harris, and I've been listening to Democracy Now! And Amy Goodman all week, is the Gaza situation. She talks about how Israel.
Can I interrupt you there? I want to interrupt you there, Harry, because Harry, I want to interrupt you there for a reason, because you're right. I wrote a blog yesterday. No, I think I did it on my 3:00 show yesterday, where I said she should, if you give a Jewish person a personal floor to tell their story, it was incumbent on Kamala and the DNC to put a Palestinian person, I'm not talking about anything organized, person to tell their story as well. That nice Jewish woman and husband told a story about their kid. It was incumbent upon the DNC to do the same. Again, it comes with power. It comes with the marginalization of people. And even as, to give what Jacob said, right, that Kamala did, again, that plays into what you're about to say as well. But it's the political dynamics of a society that is still a racist society. So I can understand the compromises to be made for a better good. And what I say often is we need to keep our eye on the ball. We need to keep an eye on the ball as we make those changes. Harry, I got to get a couple of pitches in before I jump to Art. So let me do that. A real quick 10 seconds, brother.
Okay, I just say that those protesters outside the DNC, that's not good enough for them. I understand that Kamala and Joe Biden are doing what they can to bring Hamas and bring Netanyahu to the table to end the war, but they want an arms embargo. They don't want any more weapons.
I agree. I got you, Harry. I got to go. Harry, you're right. Brother, you're right. All right, folks, I got to get to Art, Terrence, and the other one, but let me just do this real quickly. Folks, I ask you kindly, I think I still am at 0. Yes, I'm at 0. Please give us a call at 713. This is my last day. I need your support. 713-526-5738. Extension number 1 to contribute to KPFT via Politics Done Right. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738. 5738, extension number 1. Please consider giving us a coffee a month or 2 coffees a month. That's $5 a month or $10 a month. Or get the Politics Done Right t-shirt. That's a $100 contribution. Or have coffee with Egberto. That's a $250 contribution. Again, whatever you can. But let's do it now because, again, this is my last day of fund drive. Got to make my quota. Got to make my reason to be here on air. Only way we know that is if the show is supported. So let me jump to Sandy if Sandy is on and let him do a quick pitch before we get back to Art.
Thank you, Egberto. And thanks everybody listening this morning. There's a lot of you online. This is the last weekday of our summer cruise fund drive. Short and sweet this time. This is the 7th weekday, the 9th day overall, and this may even end earlier than the scheduled 11-day drive if we get a few more people motivated. You're listening to community radio. You do not hear commercials. What you do hear are your friends and neighbors behind the microphone bringing their content, doing it their way, and you get that difference, that amazing difference here at KPFT that is lacking in the other stations. Pre-programmed. A lot of the people that you hear on other radio stations, you can hear all across the country. It's a canned show. It's a syndicated show. It has no local connection to you whatsoever. Community radio, under which we are licensed by the FCC to broadcast, is entirely different. The content that we have is entirely different than what you'll get on commercial radio. The hosts are entirely different. They don't do it for a living. They're volunteers. I largely volunteer to be interim manager and have a show myself, along with about 150 other colleagues and friends at KPFT, all moving in the same direction to keep this station going forward. 54 and a half years of commercial-free broadcast, 54 and a half years of listener support. It's no mistake because our listeners, you out there listening, the passion should be there to keep this commercial-free local radio station, which is going worldwide over the net, has two 24-hour grids, HD1 and HD2, that you can listen to, and it's all done here in Houston. Please call 713-526-5738. Hit option 1 and do your part. $5 a month, $10 a month. You can get a brick with your inscription on it for a $25 a month pledge. That's a 4x8 brick. You have more to say on a brick? Get the 8x8 brick. It's a $50 per month sustaining pledge. Now, if you haven't pledged this drive this year, never, I'm really talking to you. Become our next new member. We need as many new members as we can get every drive, all the time. More of you are listening. We see the numbers. And it takes a little while to decide to donate, but perhaps this morning on the final day of the summer cruise, you'll make that decision. It's your turn. 713-526-5738. Good morning, Houston. Egberto, back to you.
Thank you very much, Sandy. I want to thank Betty, and here's the deal.
Clear,
Betty is has given us another additional one-time contribution. Betty has contributed and contributed and contributed. I want to thank you so kindly, Betty. Betty heard that I was at 0. And I know Betty gave yet another contribution because she wanted to say, no, we're not going to leave you at the donut. But we need others to step up. She has been given and given and given. Can we ask others who listen to us diligently to be a part of the family? Please call 713-526-5738, extension number 1, and contribute whatever you can, either a one-time contribution or consider doing the sustainer that we've been asking for to shut down these fund drives so that we can keep the full programming. 713-526-5738. Go ahead and think about the sustainer. Tell them it's in the name of Politics Done Right, or go to kpft.org, kpft.org, hit that donate button, drop down the scroll to Politics Done Right, and give whatever you can sustainer is what I'd love to see a lot of you do. But the one times are great as well. Anyhow, let me jump to Art. Good morning, Art. How art thou doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Elon Musk, if you're listening, man, one call would solve this problem for the rest of the decade. If you could just make that contribution, Elon. I know this guy picks on you, but there's a lot of good people that listen. If you're listening, bro. Anyways, calling about nothing to do with national issue. It's a local issue that that's just been piling up. The HVAC issues with the HISD, man. These kids are sitting in these hot classrooms is uncalled for. A lot of this stuff is from Barrel, but I think most of it, and you've talked about this before, where workers are told to be efficient. Well, that efficiency means less workers, less money, less funding, and it's piling up. And here we are dealing with HISD, not having enough HVAC technicians or the money to replace the HVAC system. Imagine sitting in a classroom that's 85, 90 degrees. How are you supposed to focus on, quadratic equations or your colors or shapes or whatever classroom they're dealing with? That's something that should have been addressed years ago, and here we are. Kids are just sitting in hot classrooms. I don't think that's right. The politics inside of HISD is, I won't say corrupt, but it's not efficient at all. And the second thing I thought was surprising is the mother of Jacqueline, the one who was murdered by the two guys from Venezuela, I think they were from.
Yes, ma'am.
She showed up at the border yesterday with Trump, and I thought that was interesting because she was never, very political, but it took the death of her daughter to get involved, unfortunately, and she showed up with Trump, and he's gonna use her, and that's gonna get national attention later. But anyways, just 2 cents. Everyone be safe. Thanks.
Thank you so kindly, Art, for your call. On respect to him showing up with Jocelyn, he can do that. The truth of the matter is, I think now the Democrats must take command of the immigration issue because, again, he is the one who stopped progress on it, and I think they shouldn't fight up for it from a position of weakness, but instead from a position of strength. And I think Kamala has started doing that with the way the DNC was put together. All I see right now is positions of strength, and that's why you see Donald Trump flailing. So that's my stance on that. Let's go to Terrence. Good morning, Terrence. Brother Terrence, how you doing?
Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
No, can you? Okay. I called in here a few months ago predicting that Donald Trump would lose the election. And I'm calling in again to predict the same thing. But this time I can tell you why he's going to lose the election. All right?
Okay. Let me hear it.
All right. You know what Abraham Lincoln said? He said that you can fool all the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all the time. But you can't fool all the people all the time. Well, that's the situation that Trump is in. He's not fooling all the people all the time. And that's why he will lose the election.
Well, thank you, Terrence. I agree. I could not. I did. For all the time I've used that phrase before, I didn't realize it was Abraham Lincoln who said it. Thank you for instructing or teaching me something, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a wonderful day. Let's go to Brother Johnny. Oh, but before we go to Johnny, we got some contributions here. Thank you so kindly, Ravi. Ravi has given again. Ravi, I can't tell you how thankful we are that you continue to prop us up and make sure that we can continue to bring this to America. And I'd like as well to prop up Stanley out of Richmond, Texas. Stanley, thank you so kindly for your kind contribution. Folks, please continue supporting the program. Let us have this. 713-526-5738. Expiration. Hear me, expiration. I'm reading as I'm talking. Extension. Who laughed at me? Who laughed at me? Was that Johnny?
No, it was Abe Lincoln.
If Johnny, the next time I see you, Johnny. Anyway, folks, give me a call, 713-526-5738. Extension number 1, please consider a sustainer, $5 a month. That's a coffee a month, $2 a month. That's 2 coffees a month, $3 a month. That's $15 or 3 coffees a month. That's $15. You can do that, those who can. Or go to kpft.org, kpft.org, and hit that donate button. After the donate button, select Politics Done Right as a show you're supporting and whatever you want to provide. All right, let's go to my dear brother, Johnny. Come on in.
So not Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln and not P.T. Barnum, huh? You learn something every day.
Yes.
So here's a somewhat humorous mind exercise that we could do.
Mm-hmm.
When I see and hear Donald Trump saying how attractive he thinks Kamala Harris is, I shut my eyes and I immediately pretend that Barack Obama is up on stage and using his own voice saying the exact same thing about Kamala Harris. Or I could close my eyes and imagine Amy Goodman saying something that Donald Trump would say. And then you realize what a creeper Donald Trump and other Republican Party politicians are. Imagine, they have this sense of ownership as well as entitlement. And when I say ownership, I mean literally. Let's not forget, Donald Trump was the owner of that, was it Team
Miss
Miss
America.
or
Miss America. Yeah.
Miss USA America pageant, where he felt entitled as the boss. He owns them women, them young girls, that he could walk in there unannounced with his ugly red tie and his bulging stomach and fantasize over all that flesh that he walks into, because that's how he sees them women, as his flesh, his disposables that he's entitled to. And this sense of entitlement has to end.
Agreed, brother. Agreed, and agreed. Anything else, Johnny, my dear brother from another mother?
No, my brother from another mother.
All right,
let's stay safe, and let's not forget, I'm past the age of multiplication. I cannot multiply anymore, so that means we all have to stay safe. Don't forget,
Thank you, brother.
Those guys out there that go to those rallies of his that like to beat up people, they multiply. They've got the right to vote, and they've got guns. That's a trifecta. Let's be aware. Yeah,
right.
Let's be safe.
We'll be
Bye-bye.
safe. Thank you, my brother. You have a great day, brother Johnny. Let's go to El Señor Jeff. Come on in, Jeff. Line number 4.
Hey,
Jeff.
Egberto, I haven't talked to you in a while.
Talk to me, my brother. How have you been?
Oh, just working, making a living. How have you been? I've been listening, but I just haven't had a chance to call.
Well, it's nice hearing your voice. I'm glad you called. Tell me what you're calling about, brother.
Okay, first thing, I heard that Abraham Lincoln being thrown around. Did those guys know that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican? I'm just going to leave it at that.
Actually, yeah. No, before you finish, though, I want to add to that. That's important what you just said. Abe Lincoln was a Republican, and the Republican Party used to be part of the progressive movement as well. I mean, it's amazing how things have changed around, right? All our Texas politicians used to be Democrats. They are now Republicans. The progressives then moved to the Democratic Party. It's all kind of like playing musical chairs. So for a while, Republicans were going around saying, remember, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and he's the one who did the Emancipation Proclamation. And I would remind folks that please remember the exact words from Abraham Lincoln. I can't say the exact words. I better paraphrase. The only reason the Emancipation Proclamation was signed wasn't to free black people, but to save the Union. Let's remember that. But anyway, go ahead, my brother.
Okay. Well, I don't agree with what Johnny was just talking about, Trump and, a fat man and all that. That's kind of, that's low and dirty. That's, I expect that from the Democrat Party. But my question to you is, this convention they're having, they're making all sorts of promises and everything. They've been in power for 4 years. Why are they bringing up the immigration crime when they're not really giving policies? Kamala has not even talked about very little about economic stuff that needs to be done in the country.
I am glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because that is a narrative that the right-wing radio and TV would like to tell you, right? But everything that she said, even though a lot of people want to say, well, she hasn't given the policies, actually she has. She may not have given the policies that say, I am going to implement it this way, but I'm going to ask you this. Do you want a policy that makes sure that unions can function, meaning that unions have the right to exist? Do you want the policy that
I don't
says
want unions.
Why don't you want unions?
I don't believe. I believe in people have the right. I think I like Texas because it's a right to work state. If you have unions,
let me stop you for a second. Does unions take away your right to work?
Unions, it's like you have to do something terrible to get fired. If someone's not prepared to do the job and they're not capable, they should be able to be let go.
Okay, Jeff, let me tell you something, and I'm going to say this respectfully, and I mean this from the core of my heart. But that thinking was placed in your minds by the corporate structure who knows that unions take away the advantage they have over you. You don't have the power to negotiate with your boss and the corporate structure that your boss has. If they decide to make a change, they can just make a change. You are just a slave within the system. A union says, and you may not like all the features of a union, but a union says that together we have power. Just like corporations, do you know corporations have unions? They don't call them unions. They call it the Chamber of Commerce. They call it the Metallurgical Union. They call it the Carbon Something Union. They understand that working together gives them more power. Why would you disadvantage yourself by thinking you are some individualist that can solve the problem on your own?
Well, that's food for thought. I always like to.
Thank you. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Thank you. I want to thank you. First of all, Jeff, you just proved something. Thank you. You said that's food for thought. I don't want you to take anything I say at face value. I want to thank you for saying it's food for thought, and you'll think about it. Let's get off the subject of unions right now. That was simply to say you asked what policies Kamala was supporting. She was supporting card check and these things that allow unions to exist. Secondly, when it comes to health, I'm not done. I'm not done, Jeff. Jeff, I'm not done. Brother, I'm not done. I made you speak. Give me a chance to talk. Here's the other thing, Brother Jeff. Brother Jeff, here's the deal. She also came out and said, I'm going to make sure that mothers and fathers can go to work by having childcare subsidized when necessary. That's a policy. I want to make sure that you have family leave. That's a policy. She doesn't need to say how that policy is going to be implemented because that requires to have the Senate, the House, and Congress to do the job. Now, the other mention that you said is, well, they were in power for 4 years. False. They were not in power for 4 years. The president was in power for 4 years, and she, as his understudy, was in power for 4 years. But after the first 2 years, when a whole lot of policies got passed, Republicans took over Congress, and they stunted any policy, any middle-class policy that would have gotten passed was stymied by both Republicans and two fake Democrats, specifically Sinema and the guy from West Virginia. So no, they didn't have the power to do these things. So it's a false argument. It's the Republicans assume that the people that follow them do not know civics. They do not know how their country functions. What Kamala needs to implement what she's doing is Congress and the Senate. And when they get into power, they need to get rid of the filibuster, which is an anti-democratic mechanism to give the plutocracy power. That is what I need to say. Continue now, my brother Jeff.
I'm going to read up more about the filibuster, but we're not going to go there. You know,
right, go ahead.
I think that I think that she had the lowest approval rating, and I don't think she's done much, and helping the common man that much. Why?
All right.
She was vice president.
Let's stop there. Let me address you one at a time. You said, I don't think she's done much for the common man. That's, again, the promotion from the right wing. Let's go to her different jobs. She was the Attorney General. Wait, let me finish. She was the Attorney General in California. And as Attorney General, when $5 billion was won for the people that the bank stole their homes, instead of $5 billion, she stayed back and negotiated for the common man and got $20 billion. When it came, so what I'm saying, the narrative the right would like to put out there doesn't tell the truth about what her policies were, or what she has done. So my brother Jeff, you can either decide to listen to truth or listen to propaganda that you get from the right. And I'm saying I'm thankful that you're listening to Politics Done Right, where we only speak the truth. Anything else?
I think anybody can stretch the truth, even the left side. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I believe in hard work. Everybody should be a hard worker, not rely on the government to pay your bills. There should be a social net, of course, if there's something. But there's too many people relying on the government to make policies to improve their life, they think.
Let's stop there for a second. Let's stop there for a second. You said there are too many people reliant on the government. Let me tell you this. You know why people are reliant on the government? Let's talk about that. Have you ever heard the term income inequality?
Yes, and I don't agree with that.
Oh, it's not necessary for you to agree with that because the numbers speak about that. Again, there are certain things that we can put up to, I don't think that's right, or maybe I'm not sure. But then there are things that the numbers say it's the way it is. Do you know that half of that the wealthy 1% or whatever, and I don't know the numbers exactly, have more wealth than the bottom half of the country? In other words, they've accumulated all of that. They didn't work for that. You call those people who need a subsidy from the government as they're getting something from the government. But the guys who you go to work every day, right, Jeff?
Oh yes, I have to make my life.
There you go. And how? I don't know who you are. So about how much do you make an hour? Just an estimate.
You know what? I took a retirement from a government job, and now I'm semi-retired because I have to work. And
right. And let me tell you, you should be pissed. Wait, you should be pissed. Hey, here's the deal. How old are you?
I'm 62.
Brother, let me tell you something. You should be pissed. Let me tell you something. You worked your butt off, but you know who profited a lot from your money? And even if it is the government that you worked for, you know those, and you see those rich fat cats that are up there at the top? All of the money they've ever made came from you. All right? They got a piece of what you made. And at the same time,
everybody makes okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
At the same time, they've made a piece of your action for decades. They've not done the work. The biggest parasites in this country are the capitalists and the wealthy. I have calls coming in a lot right now, Jeff, so I can't go into this in detail right now. Real quick, go ahead. Sure, sir. Go ahead. Yes, yes.
You know, everybody makes choices in life. And if you make the wrong choice, live with it. But just keep on plugging away and trying to that's what
I
makes
am
America make a wrong
I'm
choice.
glad you
Go
said
back.
that, because for you to make choices and the wrong or right choice, you would assume that you really have choices to make. Some people have the opportunity and privilege to make several choices over and again. Others don't. Let's talk about that another time, Jeff. And look, thank you for calling. Keep
Okay.
listening, and we'll keep talking, brother. Thank you very much for your call, brother. Let's go to Marlene. Come on in, Marlene. Marlene, you're
Hello?
on. Yes, you're on,
Yes.
Marlene.
Oh, hey. So I just wanted to add, everybody, poor Jeff, and I didn't know either until Clinton at the DNC said he triple checked the fact that the government or the people, we the people have always done better financially under Democrats than Republicans. So I kind of Googled graphs for, gross national product by party lines. And then, which I was surprised for, it was all blue. They had the best gross national product for the last 50 years. The Democrats. Then I Googled stock markets, and again, I was surprised. It was Democrats. The stock market does better under Democrats. Then I Googled job growth. And again, for the last 50 years, job growth is much higher under Democrats than it is Republicans. They put out this false narrative, and they're quite good at it because I've been a Democrat all my life, but I've always believed that the economy must be doing better under the Republicans because that's what they feed us. And so I decided to do my own little research, and I was pleasantly surprised that it's the Democrats that makes, starts the small businesses, gives the job growth. So I think I challenge anybody that thinks that the Republicans are better at it to go ahead and just do their own little search.
I'm glad you came up with that, Marlene. I've written several articles. In fact, several years ago, I wrote the article that talked about you just mentioned GDP, the comparison of GDPs. And one of the things that I wrote about the article is that I said, why is it that Democrats don't stress these things? Why is it that they don't stress? Look, Clinton made a comment that everybody couldn't believe. He said in his speech at the DNC that since the Cold War, 51 million jobs were created, and 50 million of those jobs were created under Democratic presidents, only 1 million under Republican presidents. And it is a true statement. Of course, within that, there are the dips, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that is the aggregate number right there. So you did your research. Republicans depend on, remember what I said several times, and I'd say this respectfully, but it's true. Republicans depend on people remaining ignorant or being ignorant. Because when you do your research, all this, they're not hiding the data, as you were able to find out. The data, they're not hiding it. It's out there, but nobody looks for it. Now, folks like myself, I have blogs. If you go to egbertowillies.com, you'll see I have everything that you just said is in several blogs that's been written over the last decade that I've done, right? Putting this information out. That's why I am happy for this platform and the Substack platform and the Medium platforms, because all this information, as one activist, I am putting out there, but it takes time for an individual to get the traction to get all this information digested by people. But by you saying this, Marlene, and you also telling your friends about this, it takes a multiplicative effect. And it starts for people to stop believing the crap that they hear on right-wing machines. So thank you, first of all, for calling. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. No, I think the Democrats push the social agenda because I do believe we're more inclusive, which is, to me, that's bigger than finances. You know what I'm saying? If my brother, my neighbor, doesn't have clean air, then that affects me.
Right.
They don't have schools, that affects me. So
Right.
So economy-wise was always a backseat to me. And I said, and so I didn't look at the financial picture,
Right.
So, and when I did, I was like, oh, we're winning on all fronts.
Thank you, Marlene. Look, I appreciate you keep researching, and as you research, call up this station and tell things that you found and tell your friends. And if you have Facebook, just write a little thing on Facebook. If you have Twitter, send out a tweet. There's an article in my newsletter today called "Why Progressives Must Let Go of Their Democratic Goldilocks Complex." We are going to have to do the work ourselves. The base is going to have to do the work and tell people the truth. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you for your research, and you keep doing what you do, okay?
All right, you have a great day.
You too. Okay, later I'm going to go to Donald Bryan and tag in a minute, but we got to do a quick pitch. Folks, please call 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Could you give us a coffee a month? That's $5 a month. Could you give us 2 coffees a month? That's $10 a month, $15 a month maybe, whatever you can. Or if you want to do a one-time contribution, can you give $100 for the Politics Done Right t-shirt as a token? Can you give, do you want to go ahead and, let's say, have coffee with Egberto? That's $250. It's a gimmick, but we're trying to raise money for a great station and keep it going. I want to go to Sandy, but just before I get to Sandy, I forgot to salute all the people in the chat. Sharkula Hairstylist, welcome. Eric Hayes, welcome. Paul Fleming from Atlanta, Georgia, welcome. Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain, welcome. Let's see who else we got. We also have YT4ME57, welcome. Lisa Wright, good morning, welcome. Paul Fleming from Atlanta, welcome. We also have, I'm scrolling down, making sure I get it. If I missed you, forgive me. Let's go to Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. Hope everybody's doing well out there this morning, enjoying this program. Remember, KPFT is listener-sponsored, and we collect our funds during fund drives. And remember, this is the last day of fund drive, weekday-wise, your last opportunity to support Egberto. We're still about $70 shy of our $300 goal, as it's been all drive and continues to be today. So we need a couple of more of you to step up. It would be great if we got a couple of $5 a month sustaining memberships, maybe $10 a month. If you have an existing sustaining membership, go ahead and add a couple of dollars a month, maybe $5 a month to it, and chime in that way. We're getting awfully close to our overall goal, and I imagine that will happen maybe sometime tomorrow. Maybe we'll have to go into Sunday, but if enough of you are generous this morning, maybe neither. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Remember, we are volunteer powered. We are listener supported. We have one single full-time employee because the FCC says we got to. Other than that, we have a bunch of volunteers, scores of volunteers that power this radio station, Egberto included. So honor the commitment to filling the airwaves here with meaningful content over Houston community radio and having the opportunity to have these conversations like we're having this morning. I'm fascinated when people call up and give their viewpoints, and you get enlightened as to the way people think and try to see their point of view. And through it all, that understanding creates compromise. Compromise creates peace. Support it. 713-526-5738. We're getting near the top of the hour at 7 a.m. This is KPFT Houston, 89.5 in Huntsville, and also 89.7 in Huntsville, 89.5 in Galveston. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Folks, 713-526-5738. Please let us end on a high note today, my dear brothers and sisters. I know you're willing to give now. Please go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, do it in the name of politics done right. We'll be so happy that if we can make our quota, earn our keep, if you will. Let's go to Brother Donald. Come on in, Donald. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Alberto. You know that. How are you today?
I am doing fine, brother. I'm hearing your voice. Of course I'm doing fine, sir.
Okay, it's a great day in America. We have two people of color at the top of the Republican and the Democratic ticket.
I guess one black, one orange is what you're saying?
Red and yellow. That is exactly right. Now, if you look at them in black and white on a piece of paper, and we went prosecution check, felon check, no kids check, baby mama check, and we just go down there, whatever prosecution, trickster and swindler. I think Trump's as black as Ace of Spades, brother. That's all I got to say about that.
Hey, wait. I am going to slap you around again. You know why? Because you're messing with the stereotype, dude. That's what Trump did, right? That's what Trump did. He went to like, hey, I'm a felon now, so I can go hang out with the black guys now. Like, wait, are you crazy? I mean, people don't understand how obscene that is. But anyway, I know you're pulling.
School baller and
Hey, I know you. Right. I know you're. For all the listeners out there, hold on, Donald. I want to protect you a little bit here, okay? Because the brothers will come and knock your out if they don't understand that you kind of mess with me and you're a friendly, nice guy. That's who Donald is. He's a nice guy. Whoa. Hey, Donald. Hey, Donald. I'm not done. Damn it, Donald. I'm not done. Donald gets a special certificate from me to mess around with me, folks. So don't hold it against him. He's really a good guy. Bye, Donald.
Later. Have a good weekend. Bye.
All right. Be cool. All right. Let's get to Brother Brian.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack, for your volunteer work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. You going to let me talk, or you going to cut me off?
I am going. Look, first of all, you were accidentally cut off. I was trying to get you to calm down, but please, I'm going to give you a full. Go ahead, talk, my brother, talk.
Okay. Even the caller after me said, "Why don't you let me talk?" I don't know that man that called in and said, you cut him off. I don't have persecution problems, man. You do. Why don't you let the opposition speak before you cut them off? I've been listening. You let people ramble and run on their facts if it agrees with you. But I don't agree with you. How about Tulsi Gabbard? When she was running for president, she told what Harris did, which was put black people in jail for the same offense that she did and laughed about it. She kept people in prison because of free labor. Okay, but you don't say anything about that. Bring up both sides. Be truthful in your speech. What is wrong with being truthful? I'll wait for the answer.
All right, good. So, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal. Last night, D.L. Hughley went on to the stage, national stage, and apologized to Kamala Harris, which I hope after you read real information about her, how she prosecuted in California, you will also apologize for the statement that you just made, because all of it is false. Okay? D.L. Hughley went on national TV, because D.L. Hughley went on a lot of shows and said the same thing you said. She invited D.L. Hughley to her home, and she said, Brother Hughley, do your research on your own. And yesterday, D.L. Hughley came on stage at the DNC and asked for her and gave her an apology. And he did it humbly because when one is wrong, one should admit it. Hell, I have apologized to you when I was wrong at a time for cutting you off. Yesterday wasn't one of the days that was warranted an apology, but I apologize to you. Now, what I'm going to tell you now, Brian, is when you do your full research on this issue, I hope you'll come on air and do the same, like I have done as well. Anything else you want to say?
I have checked her policies. She is a communist. Pure and
All right.
simple.
All right, thank you.
Don't
All right, thank you.
interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. My wife will tell you she is. And my wife is from where? Beijing, China.
Well, you and your wife are absolutely wrong. To put it bluntly, I wish Kamala was more progressive than she is. Kamala is no communist. That is a false statement. That is a completely false statement, my brother. What makes her? I tell you, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to humor you. What? Give me specifically what makes her communist.
She's not portraying what she is supposed to is doing.
What specifically makes her? Bryant, stop. What specifically? I don't want any. What specifically makes her a communist? What specifically makes her a communist?
She wants the power. She will get the power any way necessary.
All right, I gotta let you go. No, I'm sorry, Brian. That makes no sense. I asked you specifically what specifically makes her a communist. You can't give me an answer.
Looking for power. She is. I just told you the answer. She is.
No, you
for
didn't.
Power.
Okay, is Trump looking for power?
Yes, he is.
So he's a communist too, then. So Trump is a communist?
He's not a communist. No.
Okay.
No.
Wait. I asked you. Is Trump looking for power? You said yes.
You didn't accept my answer, did you?
What you said?
You did not accept my answer. She is looking for power, political power. That's all she is, man. She's a communist.
Have a good day, Brian. I mean, you're not making any sense. I'm sorry. Love you, but you make absolutely no sense. Let's go to Doug. Come on in, Doug. Oh, I'm sorry. Tag, not Doug. Tag. Hold on to Doug. Bring me Tag. Tag was waiting for a while. Come on in, Tag.
Berto.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Berto.
Good morning, Tag.
I think Brian needs to know that the communists are people who come in and take over private business. I mean, by and large, that they control business in their countries. Yeah. If you look at China, that's what's going on in China. They control business. I don't think you see Kamala Harris trying to take over business in this country, and for her to want to have power, political power. To have political power is not communism, Brian. Just to let you know, you need to check your definitions.
Hey, Tag,
you're so far off.
Tag, you're absolutely right. I got to do a quick pitch, but finish up for me so I can do a pitch before I go to Doug, Johnny, and David.
Yeah, one real quick thing. Bill Clinton last night, did anybody talk about his job creation?
Actually, yes, we did. And that was 2 nights ago that Bill Clinton did that. And I actually have a video that I had in the newsletter. I was supposed to play it today, but you guys run the show. Too many calls. But I tell you what, if you go to...
Let me hear real quick.
No, I did say it, though. I did say it on the show today. The last, since the Cold War, 51 million jobs, 50 millions were by the Democrats. Thank you very much, Zach. Let me run to do a quick pitch. Okay, brother?
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, folks. First, I want to thank a new member, John. Thank you, my brother, John. Thank you so kindly for your kind contribution as a sustainer. Thank you so kindly. Folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 hour. Go to kpft.org, hit the donate button. Let me jump to Sandy for a quick pitch before I take 30 seconds of each of these next calls. Sandy?
Thank you, Egberto. We are running out of time, and we will be going to Democracy Now! Shortly. I want to thank John for being the first sustaining member of the morning. Look, he jumped in, and his pledge will be matched with a $50 bill. So this was a $60 pledge, $5 a month, like I asked folks to consider. Thank you, John, for answering that call. We need 2 more of those before we end the show today. It would be great if a couple of people could just go $5 a month. You're not going to miss that more than likely. It's less than the ad valorem taxes on your cable or cell phone bill. Hey, outright, very little that you can subscribe to where you get media like a Netflix or a Hulu or any of the other myriad of subscription services cost $5 or a lot more. KPFT Community Radio is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by 2 channels with a spinning facet base on the diamond that gleams in the sunshine with each new show. This is so worth your investment to pass this to future generations. So these conversations like we're having this morning can happen tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, etc. It's going to get more and more important. We're diverse. We're coming together. We're coming together to form a more perfect union. KPFT is part of that equation. Support it, please. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. A one-time gift of $100 gets you a Politics Done Right t-shirt. The colder weather will be here, maybe in about February, and you'll need a hoodie. We've got those for a $180 contribution, or maybe it's too cold for you right now. You're having problems warming up. Put that hoodie on. Go ahead and take a walk around the block and see if that doesn't do it. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Egberto, thank you so much for what you do and another good fund drive. This has been really terrific, getting each day started with these pledges and setting the tone for the rest of the broadcast day. Thanks, folks, for supporting. Back to you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, folks. 713-526-5738, extension 1, or kpft.org. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to hold you for sure for 30 seconds because I got to get out of here. Doug, 30 seconds.
Hey, this is Doug speaking, a longtime supporter of KPFT. In fact, last night we gave $250 to KPFT. That's going to be matched by my wife's employer. This Brian guy, he's way off base. He doesn't even understand what communism is. For the first time in my life, I'm a 65-year-old white male, grew up in a racist Midwest city. For the first time in my life, I'm seeing the promise of what America could be with this multicultural Democratic National Convention. I'm absolutely blown away. In my opinion, the speech last night that was given by Kamala, I've never heard her speak before. I was a little apprehensive because of the buildup. As far as I'm concerned, it was on caliber with Martin Luther King's speech on the Mall. I think I'm just blown away. I love it. People like Brian are in the past. They're part of a past that we're trying to get away from. So I really appreciate your show, Egberto, and you promised me lunch one day. I'm going to hold you to it eventually. Talk to you later.
We'll do it, brother. You just have to call me. Thank you, brother. Let's go to David. David, 30 seconds.
Oh, thanks, Egberto. I was lucky enough to talk to Marlo the other day, so I'll be donating some artwork to KPFT, so keep an eye out for that. And the other thing, similarly, the fellow that claims that Kamala is communist, the aristocrats that have been trying to bring down America since 1776 have always hated taxation with representation. And so that's what they've been trying to smear. They've been trying to smear it with anarchy. They've tried to smear it with communism, with socialism, but it's taxation with representation.
Thank you so kindly, David. Very smart comments. And Johnny, last call. Come on in, my dear brother.
Okay, Brian, if you're listening, don't forget, Donald Trump may or may not be communist adjacent, but one thing we both should realize is that he's authoritarian, which is just as bad, if not worse, than communism. Don't forget, liberals aren't communists. We're socialists. Hello, just like the rest of America. We socialize problems to solve the problems created by unfettered, underregulated, mercenary-style capitalism. Hello.
Thank you so kindly, Johnny. Folks, thank you, guys. I got to get out of here. My limit was at 7:15. Please call 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Please consider $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, whichever you can, or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, and select whatever you want to select. Let me jump to Sandy for a quick 15 seconds before I get back.
Thank you, Egberto. Once again, 713-526-5738. John, Beto, Stanley, Betty, thank you for stepping up this morning. At this point, adding everything up, hey, we're a $35 basic membership away from making our goal. Anybody out there that has not yet pledged this drive, has never pledged to KPFT, or maybe pledged a few years ago, time to re-up, become a member of our growing family, and get KPFT funded. We're passing this forward. We're getting stronger. Thanks to all of you out there listening. Thanks for doing so. And once again, thank you, Egberto and Jack in the studio, and Howard, who's off today. But without those guys, there is just static. And that's
Absolutely.
it. Thanks.
Jack, anything real quick to say, Jack?
Get your credentials for registering to vote together and get it done.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Jack. Very important. Register to vote. Anyway, folks, love you all. All the videos, we had great videos for you today. They are at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter, politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Love you all, callers, givers, whether you agree or not. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.
Now we join democracy in Democracy Now!